Hello everyone, and welcome back to the hearth. I hope you're doing well. Pull up a seat by the fire and prepare to enjoy yourself. Today we have a silly story that I've pulled from the collection. I think everyone needs a good laugh every once in a while, so I thought I would do my best to provide one. Hopefully it worked. Hopefully you find this enjoyable. Hopefully you find it humorous. But either way, thank you for coming, and thank you for enjoying this story with me. Ben slung his coat over the rack, kicking snow from his boots. He pulled them off and slid them onto the shelf, shuffling into his apartment proper. It was 4 in the afternoon. Not quite dark yet, but definitely getting there. Ben threw his backpack onto the couch, heading into the kitchen and pulling a packet of Maruchan ramen from the cupboard. He tossed the packet from hand to hand. Quick, easy to make, and filling, Maruchan was Ben's old reliable. He grabbed the pot, the bowl, and the fork. As he passed the sink, piled high with neglected plates and silverware, he made a mental note to do the dishes before he went to bed. 10 minutes later, he sat on the couch, twirling noodles into his mouth as he watched YouTube on his phone. He surfed along a wave of recommended videos, from current events to gaming to meme compilations. He didn't quite know what he wanted to watch, so he just kind of watched everything. Once he reached the bottom of his bowl, he made another one, returning to the couch for more entertainment. A few hours later, he lay engrossed in a Cat Williams stand-up special, his bowl and fork seated on the floor next to the couch. Overall, it was a pretty lazy evening, and he wasn't complaining. There was a quart of cookie dough ice cream in the freezer that he planned to start on after this special. Maybe he would watch another special while he did so. His cozy feeling quickly dissipated when he heard the ding. He bolted up, looking around. Nothing. He sighed, settling back in, taking a peek behind the couch before he did so. Maybe he imagined it. Ding! This one was much louder and unmistakably closer. Ben threw down his phone, leaping to his feet. "Oh, come on!" he shouted. "Again? Seriously?" He looked up, his heart sinking as he confirmed his suspicions. A sword hung above his head, suspended by a singular thread. Beside the sword, angry, red, glowing words floated in the air.
"Wash the dishes."
A sand-filled hourglass had already flipped over, the sand starting to spill to the empty side at an alarming rate. "I was gonna wash them anyway," Ben protested. This is stupid." The words flashed, blinding him with crimson light and doubling in size. Ben ground his teeth, then bolted to the kitchen, muttering angrily. He was already behind. He couldn't afford to fill the sink. Time to improvise. He grabbed the bottle of dish soap, squirting a generous amount all over the pile of dishes. He turned the water up to maximum, grabbing a washcloth. The water had hardly warmed before he started scrubbing. Ben scrubbed as fast as he could, doing his best to remove every last speck of food. Halfway through, he glanced above his head. He was making good time. Just under half the sand was left. He blazed through the plates and silverware, and the last of the bowls soon followed. Eventually, he was down to the last dish, and the one dish that could put a wrench in his task. A pan from breakfast, with bits of egg, and much worse, sausage grease dried into it. Here it was more important to be thorough than to be fast. He took a deep breath, rolling his shoulders. He never even glanced at the hourglass. Checking his time would just make him lose focus. Instead, he scrubbed like his life depended on it. Finally, he slid the pan into the rack, the washcloth now a grayish color, and the pan glinting like new. He took a tentative peek above him. There was a spoonful of sand left. He had made it by the skin of his teeth. He sighed, sinking to the kitchen floor. "Happy now?" he asked, gesturing in the general direction of the sword.
"Task complete," flashed
the glowing red words.
"Housekeeping skills satisfactory."
Yeah, can you get rid of the sword? The sword vanished, along with the hourglass and the words. Ben dragged himself back to the couch, picking up his phone. He paused, straining his ears. No dings. He slumped back down, resuming his Cat Williams special. He hoped his housekeeping was satisfactory enough to be left alone for the rest of the night. Although, just to be sure, maybe he would leave the ice cream for another day. He wouldn't want to dirty any more dishes, after all.